Hey friends, and welcome to Creation Station. Are you all excited about what we're going to be learning today? Me too. You guys know what we're going to start off with? We're going to start off with our memory verse song. So let's stand up and sing.
This song is Romans 8:28. Let's get bouncing together. This song is about how God works everything out for our good. So you guys, we're going to start by singing, and we know, and we know. Can you guys sing it out? Here we go.
And we know that God causes everything to work together for the good of those who love God, and are called according to His purpose for them.
Sing Romans 8:28.
Romans 8:28.
All right, you guys, let's dance together. Can you guys spin around like this? Good job. And the other way. All right, let's sing. And we know.
And we know that God causes everything to work together for the good of those who love God, and are called according to His purpose for them.
Sing Romans 8:28.
Romans 8:28.
All right, you guys, let's clap our hands like this. And let's spin. Let's sing. And we know. Here we go.
And we know that God causes everything to work together for the good of those who love God, and are called according to His purpose for them.
Sing Romans 8:28.
Romans 8:28.
All right, you guys, let's dance together. Let me see you moving. And let's spin. And go the other way.
Hello friends, welcome to Storytime on Creation Station. If it's your first time here, it's nice to meet you. I'm Miss Polly. And if you've been here before, welcome back. I missed you. And are you ready for our story today? We have been learning here on Creation Station about Abraham and the promise that God made to him. Do you remember what it was? He promised Abraham that he was going to give him a huge family. He also promised him that he was going to send the rescuer through his family. And we learned that Abraham had Isaac, and then Isaac had Jacob. And Jacob, last week, we learned that he married Rachel and Leah, right? And then today, we're going to learn that Jacob had 12 sons. But there's one son in particular that's something really special. God chose him for something really special. Are you ready to learn this new story? To learn more about God's promise to Abraham? Okay, let's put on our thinking caps. Let's turn on our listening ears as loud as they go. And let's together watch this story.
The Forgiving Prince. Jacob had 12 sons, but of all his sons, Joseph was his favorite. One day, Jacob gave Joseph a splendid new robe. It was beautiful and rich, with all the colors of the rainbow. But it made Joseph's brothers jealous. They wanted rich rainbow robes too. Then, to make matters worse, Joseph kept on having these special dreams. I dreamed I was the greatest. I was king, Joseph told his brothers, and you all bowed down to me. Now, I'm sure you know, even if Joseph didn't, that telling your brothers things like that isn't a very good idea. So Joseph's brothers hated him even more. They wanted to kill Joseph and his dreams. And one day, that's exactly what they tried to do. They tore Joseph's rainbow robe off him and sold him to slave traders for 20 pieces of silver. The traders took Joseph to Egypt and made him into a slave. The brothers went home and lied to their father, telling him that Joseph was dead. Now, that's the end of that dreamer, they thought. But they were wrong. God had a magnificent dream for Joseph's life, and even when it looked like everything had gone wrong, God would use it all to help make the dream come true. God would use everything that was happening to Joseph to do something good. Meanwhile, though, things were not looking good for Joseph in Egypt. He was far from home and from his dad. Then he got blamed for something he didn't do, and even though he had done nothing wrong, he was punished and thrown in jail. But God had not left Joseph. One night, Pharaoh, king of Egypt, had a scary dream about thin cows gobbling up fat cows. What on earth did it mean? He didn't know. But Joseph was a dream expert, so Pharaoh sent for him. "It means a famine is coming," Joseph explained. "There won't be enough food." Pharaoh was so pleased by Joseph's skill that he immediately took Joseph out of jail and made him a prince. Now, back home, Joseph's brothers had run out of food and everyone was hungry. God's special family was in danger. If they didn't get food soon, they would starve to death. So Joseph's brothers traveled to Egypt to buy food. They came and knelt before the new prince. His brothers didn't know that the prince was Joseph, but Joseph knew who they were. Joseph's dream, the one about his brothers bowing down to him, was coming true. "It's me!" Joseph cried. But when they saw it was Joseph, his brothers were afraid. They had wronged Joseph. They had sinned and they knew it. And now Joseph would certainly punish them. But Joseph looked at his brothers, and his eyes filled with tears. Even though his brothers had hurt him and hated him and wanted him dead, in spite of everything, he couldn't stop loving them. His heart, which they had broken, filled up with love, and Joseph forgave them. Joseph threw his arms around them. "Don't be afraid," he said. "Behind what you were doing, underneath everything that was happening, God was doing something good. God was making everything right again." Joseph didn't punish them. He rescued them. He brought God's special family to live safely with him in Egypt. One day, God would send another prince, a young prince whose heart would break. Like Joseph, he would leave his home and his father. His brothers would hate him and want him dead. He would be sold for pieces of silver. He would be punished even though he had done nothing wrong. But God would use everything that happened to this young prince, even the bad things, to do something good, to forgive the sins of the whole world.
Whoa, have you ever heard that story before? Wasn't it crazy everything that happened to Joseph? All the bad things that happened to him? His brothers sold him. He became a slave. He had to go live in Egypt, far, far away from his home where he didn't know anybody. He was put in jail even though he had not done anything wrong. Wasn't it crazy? But you know what? It's awesome about this story. Joseph trusted God, and he knew that even though all those bad things happened, God intended it for good. God had a plan. God is in control. And you know what to me is really cool about this story? It points to Jesus in such a way that we can't not see. Here, let me get this book where we're learning the story from, and let me read something to you. Like Joseph, Jesus would leave his home and his father. Like Joseph, people would hate him and want him dead. Like Joseph, Jesus would be sold for pieces of silver. And like Joseph, Jesus would be punished even though he had done nothing wrong. But like Joseph, Jesus would forgive the people that had done him wrong. And you know what? Something good would come out of those bad things. Jesus would forgive the sins of the whole world. Isn't it amazing that even though bad things will happen to us, but we know that God is in control and we can trust Him. And through those bad things, God can make something good and beautiful, and we can trust Him. What an amazing story. What an awesome lesson for us that we can learn through Joseph, right? And now, you know what time it is. It is our worship time, my favorite time with you. Let's all stand up, do a couple of little jumps to get you all excited. And now we're gonna sing some songs.
Oh, God is gonna give you all that you need, all that you need. Oh, God is gonna give you just what you need, just what you need. Oh, God is gonna give you all that you need, all that you need. Oh, God is gonna give you just what you need, just what you need. He is good and loves you, good and loves you. He is good and loves you, good and loves you. Oh, God is gonna give you all that you need, all that you need. Oh, God is gonna give you just what you need, just what you need. He is good and loves you, good and loves you. He is good and loves you, good and loves you. He is good and loves you, good and loves you.
My God is so big and so strong and so mighty. There's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so big and so strong and so mighty. There's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so big and so strong and so mighty. There's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so big and so strong and so mighty. There's nothing my God cannot do. In the beginning, God made everything. God simply spoke and the world came to be. He sent a flood. honor to live here on the earth. He healed the sick, he made blind men see. He let the lame walk and he set the world free. He died on a cross and he rose from the grave. He conquered sin, he is mighty to save. He went to heaven and he's coming back. God's word is true, but if it's attacked, I'll look you in the eye and say, my God is so big and so strong and so mighty. There's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so big and so strong and so mighty. There's nothing my God cannot do. God the Spirit, God the Father, God the Son. 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 1. God the Spirit, God the Father, God the Son. 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 1. My God is so big and so strong and so mighty. There's nothing my God cannot do. I'm not afraid because God is so big and so strong and so mighty. There's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so big and so strong and so mighty. There's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so big and so strong and so mighty. There's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so big and so strong and so mighty. There's nothing my God cannot do.
Isn't it amazing how God turns something so bad into something so good? Our God is awesome. Come back next week so we can learn new things about the Bible. Bye!